Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Skymetal, Iron Gods. This is Chapter 1, Fires of Creation, Part 4. And this game ostensibly takes place every other Tuesday, but it's lately turned into about a once-a-month game due to scheduling and things like that, but it doesn't matter what's happened before because we're here now. 4/5 of us are here and wasn't able to join us tonight, but that is okay. Though, well, I say it's okay, but Vi has not guaranteed that Gideon is safe in any way. So we'll see in a few moments when I turn the reins over to our amazing Game Master Vi, what this session has in store for us. First, of course, we have some announcements. First, if you look up above my head, look past this unconscious and dying 2, that up above where you see the domain, I keep forgetting what we call them. Domain vials? Is that what we call it?
Relics.
Domain relics.
Yeah, domain relics.
Those are this game's domain dice. I've just put the information in the chat. The domain dice is your way as the audience to influence the game. For a $5 tip, a subscription, gift subscription, Ko-fi support, or 500 bits, you can purchase a domain die for the players. And there's a list of a variety of ways that we can use those in-game. And the way, of course, when you give them to us, as we have a subscription, boom, there's another one right there. So we currently have 7 of those, but we can only get them from those ways mentioned above. You can type at any time, ! schedule, to see what games we have coming up. As I said, this is an every other Tuesday game. And then we have usually on the second Wednesday of the month is our Mythos Investigators Call of Cthulhu game, Lawlerville. Where you can find myself and Kaeryn over there with our amazing keeper / historian Ricky running an original scenario with some other amazing players as well. Thursday nights you can find us here for our Welcome to Paradise, Michigan, a Kids on Bikes RPG that takes place in the fictional town of Paradise, Michigan, on the Lake Michigan lakeshore in 1980 something. So be sure to join us for that. And then, of course, on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us here with another Pathfinder game, Scribes and Scrolls. We are currently up to, I believe, session 84 is coming up. And with our interludes and everything like that, that puts us at, I believe, about 90 episodes total that we've done. So we are getting close to the 100 episode mark on that one. But please do tune in for that. I will also be over on Erasmus Expeditions this Friday. I believe at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Sara will be there as well. But also later this month, I'll be over there as well for a different game. And I think Sara and Kaeryn, are you in that one? I don't remember. It's the little people.
A household game. Yes.
I missed excited. The first session, so I'm excited to get into that. Oh. So as you can tell, lots of games going on. And believe it or not, we all still somehow find time to play Baldur's Gate 3. I do have a rather large announcement. We officially or unofficially made the announcement on the channel on Thursday, but I'm going to make the official announcement right now because the cat was deliberately let out of the bag this weekend. On Saturday, September 30th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain, will be Todd Stashwick's Nerd Circus presents Legends of Eleonora, the Light of the Child, benefiting the Pavlov Foundation. They are a wonderful organization dedicated to working with and eradicating childhood cancer. This amazing game is going to be dungeon mastered by the one and only Todd Stashwick, with guest players Matthew Lillard, Mika Burton, Tawny Newsome, and Jack Quaid. And if you're looking at this graphic and you see those 2 question marks on either end, and it says maybe you, that's because there is a chance that you can bid in an auction to win a seat. They are not going to be cheap. This is for charity. I can tell you right now that at least one of the seats is already going for over $2,250. But all of that money is going to benefit the Pavlov Foundation's fight against childhood cancer. Tamiko, I don't know if you are still, I think you're in the chat. I think I saw you there. Would you mind going out to, I think you can find it on Todd's Twitter, but can you grab the link to that auction and drop it in the chat, please? I would appreciate that. I need to get a chat command set up for that, but that is happening right here at the end of the month. September is actually is a month that is dedicated to fighting childhood cancer, and we are doing it on the last day of the month. It's such an amazing opportunity to have this incredible group of players and Dungeon Master here helping us having fun playing a game of D&D for about 3 hours and trying to raise as much money as we can. There will be a special donation award at a high dollar value item. I was going to reach back and show you. Some of you may have seen it at some point in time. I have a skull dice tower that I would normally hold right here, but I can't because I sent it to Todd, because Todd is going to have himself and all of those celebrity players autograph it, and you could donate to win that dice tower. So please do show up and check that out. Todd Stashwick's Nerd Circus is also potentially working on some special edition t-shirts where all profits of those shirts will go to benefit the foundation as well. We will have more information as we get closer to that, but you can follow myself on Twitter, follow the Pavlov Foundation, follow Todd Stashwick and all of those amazing players. And we hope to see you here on September 30th. I have one last announcement that I want to put out there before I turn it over to Vi. Actually, it's kind of a two-parter. One is just a reminder, or rather to let you, the audience, know that we, the players, we take care of one another. We have open communication. We've had our session zeros, and we have established our own lines and veils and safety tools. We are using safety tools at this table to make sure that we are keeping one another safe. So know that if and when situations can get rather intense, that we have already taken care of making sure that we are safe with that. That said, us being adults, playing a game of violence and magic, things can get intense, and if that's not for you, please feel free to head on over to another stream. We will not be offended. I also want to let you know that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference, whether you believe it or not. It's true. That's why we tell you this before every game. And I know it sounds like I'm just reading off a script or I'm saying the same thing from memory, which is, I am saying it from memory, but it's because the message is simple and clear. Everybody struggles. It doesn't matter why you're struggling. You need to know that, one, it is okay to not be okay. Struggling is normal. And two, you do not have to struggle alone. At any time, you can come into our chat and you can type !help. And some URLs will show up on the screen. I need to get that set up to show on our scroll at the bottom so that shows for our VOD people. But right now I will tell you it is findahelpline.com, or you can check out the growing list of resources at takethis.org. Please visit those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save it for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, I hand the reins over Devi.
Thanks, Jake. So we are going to pick up where we had left off, and that is with poor Dexter getting impaled through the chest by a trap rigged in the cave systems that are beneath the town of Torch. You are here underneath the city, trying to find the source of why the torch of Torch has gone out, that ever-burning purple flame that is the city's lifeblood. You've discovered many interesting things down here, including some of the fates of the previous people that have gone on this expedition, as well as a community of these camouflaged cave-dwelling people called skulks. You met with these skulks, you met with their leader, and she told you to, in exchange for giving you passage to the next sections of the caverns where your lead is, to clear out some pests, some gremlins that are layering in the cave system next to theirs that are causing them some issues. You learned that a mysterious purple-haired woman had come down here 8 days prior to your journey and on the exact same day that the torch flame went out. And she seems to be the cause, or at least knows something, and you're here perhaps now to find her. But it's hard to do that when you have a trap impaled through your chest. And so this is where we're picking up on the initiative rolls that we rolled last time. In the cramped, tight cave systems, as these tiny beetle-headed gremlins pop out of literal holes in the cavern walls, out of seemingly nowhere, to dismember the party as they cackle with maniacal glee doing so. We start off at the top with Dexter, because you are on death's door. You have to make, at the beginning of your turn, a dying roll.
All right, and I'm at dying 2, so I believe that's a DC 12.
It is.
You know what? Give me 1 second, because I do have my AtCon D20, which in every game I ever play in, that is my death saving throw die. So let me grab that real quick. All right, I've got it. Here we go. 13.
That is a success. You go from dying 2 to dying 1.
In succeeding, I imagine that bioluminescent arcane blood that flows through my body is continuing to leak out, and I just sort of spasm for a moment on the end of this, impaled on this trap.
And that will bring us then to Inanisara. It is your turn.
Okay, if I'm reading the map right, I am right beside Dexter as this is happening.
Yes.
Now, okay, bear with me, please. We have 3 actions in a turn, right?
Yep.
Is it 1 action to grab Dexter and pull him off the spear or whatever is impaling him, or pull out whatever is impaling? I don't know if it went into him or if
it was
pushed into it.
It was a ceiling dropped spear trap. So it is like imagine a spear that kind of just swung down pendulum style into him.
Okay.
Like a giant pendulum coming down into him.
So then I'd like to,
so
if it's 1 action to grab that spear and rip it out. Sounds really bad, but
I would think that it's almost it's attached by cables to the ceiling of this cave, the spirit. So I feel like it would actually be easier maybe to
push him.
I mean, you can push the spear out through him. You could pull him off of the spear, But yeah, like I imagine like you try to like free him from the spear tip. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Like
This will
get
be
it
a
so it's no longer in
strength.
its body.
This will be a strength roll for you.
Okay. How do you roll just strength?
It'll be just d20 plus your strength modifier.
You select the dice at the top. Oh, for pity's sakes.
Don't
I
tell me
rolled a 1.
Oh no.
Oh no. I will say that will add that you cause
Oh.
more damage to Dexter.
I was gonna
in
say,
an
you know that
attempt to
death
get him
save I
off.
just succeeded at?
Yeah, I just gave it back to you. Thanks.
You go up a dying condition. So you're up
Did-
to the dying 2 again.
Did I at least
I
No,
am
you gain
remove
no
it?
headway and you inflicted another wound upon him.
I just imagine as you're trying to pull, you see that wound open further, and there's just sort of a, and some of that bioluminescent fluid kind of dribbles out of my mouth.
Is that something where I can use a second action to try it again? Or is I'm done for this turn and have to do something else?
I believe you're just allowed to continue trying it again.
I mean, you have 3 actions.
You have 3 actions.
Yeah, I wanted to use 2 of them to heal you, but that's not going to happen now.
So Jake gained an additional wound because of your critical failure, not just because of a failure.
Oh yeah.
If you'd done a failure, it would have been like you wouldn't have done anything, but you wouldn't have hurt him. But because of your natural 1 critical failure.
Just to clarify,
that's
I'm wounded 1 now, and
oh sorry, yeah,
dying 2.
Yeah.
But did I gain a wounded condition because of the crit fail?
No.
Oh,
sorry, your dying went from 1 to 2. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try again.
All right, give me another strength roll, please.
Oh, 17.
That is enough to pull.
I tried to push the first time, I guess.
Yeah. You've pulled Dexter off of the impaling object.
Okay, and immediately as his life essence is oozing and now it's like probably just flowing out, I immediately slam both my hands onto his the wound, say arcane things, and cast heal. Unfortunately, you're only get 1d8 this time, not
because it's only 1 action, right?
Yeah, I only have the 1 action.
You get 1d8 hit points, which.
Do you want me to roll or you want to roll?
Yes, your spell. You get to roll it.
I don't want to roll. No, I rolled a 1.
All right, you have 1 hit point, no. Dexter, but you are conscious.
What did you roll?
A 1. God.
Okay, sorry. I'm just double checking to see because I've been healed, so I lose the dying condition.
Yeah.
But I believe I gain 1 wounded.
Yeah, your wounded goes up by 1.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that's right. Whoops. Now we'll do that, and then.
And you are no longer dying.
Whoops! Nope! I hit the wrong button. It said I was dead. I wanted to turn the overlay off.
Yeah. Let's see. You automatically wake up if you have 1 hit point. Awesome. And then you gain wounded 1 or increase it by 1 if you already had wounded.
So my eyes just flutter and I just look up at you. My eyes are blinking, like not in unison. And I just look up at you and not bad for an elf.
Right, so that's 3 of your actions. So we go on to Gideon, who will spend 2 of his actions. The first to do so is to mutter some arcane words as he draws his hand over the edge of his greatsword. And then using the second action to use Spell Strike, bringing down his enchanted greatsword upon the goblin that's in melee. So it's going to be an attack roll. Ooh, an 18 on the die for a total of 25 to hit, which is 1 point less than being a critical hit on these things. So it does normal damage. So it's going to be 1d8 plus 4. So that's 9 slashing plus a Shocking Grasp. Often does 2d12 more damage. Goodness gracious. For a total of 24 points of damage. Yeah, that obliterates the gremlin in one hit. And 1 sec. That was one of my alarms going off. I forgot to disable for this evening. Yeah, so rolling 15 damage of lightning damage or electric damage and 9 damage of slashing. Gideon comes down and in one fell swoop destroys the gremlin that was getting ready to that was like climbing out of the wall. And then we'll use his last action to shift up to the next one. That's all 3 of the actions. And that will bring us now to Pex. Pex'alily, it is your turn.
Coolsies. That was a cool move. So with these things in front of us, and she watches as Gideon takes one down, she pulls out her hand cannon and I'll be good. We'll use one action to make sure that it's loaded. And then she's gonna go for trying to hit it and be big. Let's see if this works. Let's see if she can hit it like a good kid. So that would be a 17.
17 is enough to hit, yes.
Coolsies. So, and then I get a 1d6. So +1 circumstance, which makes it 5 damage with that. And then my third action would be to reload. And that's it. She's not moving from where she's at.
All right. Those are your 3 actions. Now it is the gremlin's turns. So the one that is in front of Gideon will kind of like hop about and smash. Well, actually, no, we'll first go with a big maul attack on Gideon, making an attack roll against him. Getting a 14 to hit, which is not enough to hit. But then using the other 2 actions, we'll reach out with its other mandibles and hands and try to grab onto the weapon that Gideon just obliterated its friend with to try to destroy it using its rusting grasp ability. Which is also... That is also a miss, unfortunately. As Gideon's able to pull away his greatsword away in time. And then, Pex'alily, you see something horrifying out of the corner of your eye, literally out of the smooth cave wall that you're like got your back up against you because you're like reloading. One of these gremlins literally reaches out of the stone itself and like with like swift like little hand motions, it fiddles with your gun as you're reloading it to like just pull it apart and literally dismantle it right in front of you. So it makes an attack roll against you to
Not
do
Pex'alily crying.
a speedy sabotage on you, which will be does 28 beat your AC?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your weapon is now broken automatically.
Okay.
As you're like, like you kind of fumble about to find like, a pellet casing, something, you look over, the barrel is missing and it's like on the ground clattering, and you like reach down to like, what is this? And then the stock falls off, as your gun is just being dismantled in front of you. That was 2 of its actions, and then its last to do, as you kind of turn around to see it, bonk you over the head with a little hammer, to in your kind of pseudo distracted state, which is going to be a 20 versus your AC.
Yes.
And that's going to do. Oops, that's not okay. 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Ouchie.
So that was this one popping out on you. Right, there you go, uninvisible. And then Inanisara, out of the cave wall next to you, a similar thing happens, but unfortunately you don't have anything really, really yummy to dismantle in your hands. So instead, this gremlin is going to just attack you twice with its hammer for using 2 of its 3 actions. The first hit is a 12 to hit, which I believe misses.
Yeah.
The second hit is an 11 to hit, which also should miss.
Yeah.
And then lastly, out of the ceiling, out of a hole in the ceiling, comes plopping down with a big thud one of these gremlins that is much more bigger than the other ones, wearing like rat skulls on like tendons around its neck, wearing like literally like robot scrap as armor all over its body, and like face paint like smeared like yellow like grease and purple lines from the various Numerian fluids found in this region. It chitters, and as it drops, it's going to make an attack against you, Pex'alily. That's going to be a 25 to hit.
Yarp.
Is that over
Yeah.
10? Is that 10 over? So that's a critical hit.
Oh, it's not. What was it again?
It's 25.
Yeah,
Is
no,
AC
that's not
15?
10. My
Okay,
AC
okay.
17.
Okay, not quite. So not a
So
critical hit.
no, not a
Okay, cool.
critical hit. No.
Not yet. That's going to be 7 points of bludgeoning.
That takes me to 0.
Awesome. And then with its last action, it's going to make a strike at you, Inanisara, for using its last hit. That's going to be a 24 to hit.
Okay, that does hit. Yeah.
Yeah, but not a crit.
Not a crit. I have a
Okay.
17 as well.
Okay, this is going to do 8 points of bludgeoning to you.
Ow.
And Dexter, it's your turn.
Let's see, which one's closest to me? This big guy or this little guy?
They're both just as equally distant to you. It's just this area is so cramped. You got like these gremlins on all sides of you. You have a throbbing headache and 1 hit point to your name. What do you want to do?
I am going to reach down.
You're also prone too.
Well, then I'm going to stand up, which I believe that takes an action to do.
That sounds right. Let's see. Prone. Crawl and stand. Okay, yeah. Standing just is an action, yeah.
So 1 action to stand. And then I'm going to take my sap, which is a cloth-wrapped hardcore weapon. Let me rephrase that. It is hardcore, but the core of the weapon is something hard.
It is quite the hardcore weapon, yes.
Seeing the way these things, and what we knew going in here was that these things liked metal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to pull out my sword or a dagger or anything. I'm going to pull this, whatever's inside it, hard rubber, lead pipe, heavy piece of wood, I don't know. But I'm going to take an attack at the one on my right ish, I guess would be the big one.
The big boy, the chief.
No, I'm gonna go for the little guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can eliminate the smaller threat. Whoops, that's the wrong die. I remember how to play. So I have a +4 to hit, so that's a 15 to hit.
15 on the little guy
Yes.
is a miss. It's
Ooh.
these things. Well, I mean, you make a solid attempt of a strike, but the thick exoskeleton these things have makes your blow a glancing blow.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a second strike. Take the multi-action penalty of -5. Oh no, that's even worse. That's a 6 to hit.
6 would be a critical fail.
Awesome, fantastic.
Do you have a one of those decks or no?
I do. Sorry.
Fumble with the sap.
So that would be a bludgeoning weapon. I think these are listed by type of attack. Melee, ranged, or unarmed. So I'm just gonna do a quick shuffle and grab the first card off the deck, and it says for melee. Oh wait, hold on. Did I grab the? I grabbed the critical fumble deck. Oh no, I see. Armor smash. You deal the attack's normal damage to your armor, applying hardness.
Oh, okay.
So I have to roll 1d6.
What kind of armor are you wearing?
That's a good question. Let me check my gear.
Leather?
I am wearing. Why don't I? Where's armor listed? I'm obviously wearing some armor because I have an AC 18.
Somewhere.
Defense. There we go. Studded leather armor.
Awesome. Look it up.
So I rolled a 4 + 1, so 5. And I don't remember how to damage armor. We're rolling entirely too many critical fails, guys.
Okay, so we need to know it's. How do I know the hit points of studded leather?
The item should have what I'm trying. If you want to keep going, I'll look this up.
Yeah.
I'll read up on it and I'll play, and then next time around I'll let you know what I found.
Yep, because this might have broken your armor or not. So that was Dexter's turn. Inanisara, it is your turn.
Okay, great. So Pex'alily has fallen down in front of me. Dexter is fighting.
Yep.
Beside me.
And he just bonked himself in his own armor.
Yeah, this is going real well. He's obviously he's up and at him, but obviously still dazed from being mostly dead for a second. I am going to cast Stabilize on Pex'alily.
What does that do?
So it takes 2 of my actions, targets a dying creature. Basically, the energy I send towards Pex'alily stops her from dying. She'll lose the dying condition, but will remain unconscious at 0 hit points.
No longer have to roll.
And then I have one final turn left.
One final action, yeah.
I have a sling. Am I able to load and fire, or is that 2 actions?
I think that's one action.
Yeah, so then I will try and shoot one of the ones that are on Pex'alily.
However, so using a ranged weapon while threatened like this
Yeah.
causes opportunity attacks from adjacent creatures. However, I don't think these things have opportunity attacks. Yeah, they don't have opportunity attacks. So you're good. You can fire your sling. Yep.
Okay, I think that's this button. Is it not rolling? One second. D20 plus 5 to hit. Roll. Okay. Are you kidding me?
No, you
I
didn't.
rolled a 1. I did. This I should bring back my real dice.
All right. Do you want to use
Digital
a do you want to use a domain relic to re-roll that one, or
Yes.
suffer a
Yes.
fumble?
No,
Okay.
we can't afford another fumble. I will use.
All right.
some
You imbibe
relics.
some strange Skymetal fluids to re-roll. What did you roll?
A 1. I rolled
All
another
right.
frickin' 1.
Oh no.
You get a fumble draw.
That was
a draw
on
of the
the
fumble deck.
that was
It was a
okay.
ranged weapon.
Ranged weapon. All right, we'll do a shuffle, draw. Double miss, which is fitting for the double ones. If this attack uses ammunition, you use twice the amount of ammunition on this attack.
Okay. I can handle that. It's
It's
rocks.
pretty innocuous.
Yeah.
That'd be unfortunate if you had like arrows of lightning or something that you're like trying to like sparsely use or something.
Yeah.
But thankfully, this is just mundane pebbles you're using. So,
For the love of everything.
all right, that was Inanisara's actions. So now
I'm
it
going
is.
to put it out there in the universe. I blame Will Wheaton because I watched the little blurb about how he has cursed, and I should not have watched that clip, that put together thing of his curse, because now it apparently has affected all of us. I'm sorry. Thanks, Will Wheaton. Off to you.
All right. For Gideon's turn, Gideon's going to spend an action to restore the spell strike to his blade, use another action to imbue the magic, and then an action to spell strike once more. Using all 3 of his actions to channel this magic into this little gremlin. So it's going to be an attack roll from Gideon against the gremlin for 21 to hit, which is a hit. So it does another, so 10 slashing plus 10 lightning, which is 20 damage total, which is again enough to just obliterate this gremlin. That was all 3 of Gideon's actions. Pex, you are unconscious but stabilized, and now it is the gremlin's turn. The small gremlin that you tried to sap Dexter is going to lash at you with a swift bite. It's going to be a 16 to hit you.
I hold the sap up and he bites the sap instead. That's a miss.
Ooh, awesome. All right, that was the first action. Second action is going to try and nab, try and like, as the mandible is going to go around the sap, it like shifts posture, scuttling around to try to like unhook its mandible and get you again swiftly with a second bite strike against you, which is going to be a 22 to hit.
That one will hit.
Okay, which is going to do 2 points of piercing damage.
Which is going to drop me down to 0 again.
Because you were wounded, your dying condition is worse this time.
Yes, so I will start at dying 2.
And then for its third action, it's going to attack Inanisara with its last bite, which is going to be a 7 to hit, which I believe is actually a critical fail. right? Because there's AC 17 in Inanisara.
Yeah, AC 17.
Yeah.
Also-
So this thing gets an unarmed fumble.
Also,
Yes.
since we haven't done it, we can not do it this combat or however, but when we go unconscious, we're supposed to move in initiative order to the place right before the attack that knocked us
Yeah,
unconscious.
I've been keeping track of
Okay,
that.
okay.
I remember that rule. Yeah.
Excellent.
So far, it's only like so far it didn't really matter because Pex was right before the gremlins anyways.
Perfect.
And then you started at the top of the initiative because you were killed from the start of combat. But now you're moved to below or right above the gremlins.
Awesome. Just wanted to
Yep.
remind.
Mhm.
Also, real quick, my armor has 16 hit points with the hardness value of 4. It only takes 1 point of damage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's basically negligible. All right. So this gremlin gets an unarmed fumble. What unarmed fumble
The
does it
gremlin gets an unarmed fumble.
get? Mhm.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Eventually I'll get these keyed in and I'll have a button I can push and they'll just randomly appear on screen. Unarmed. Jam a finger. You hit the target for the minimum amount of damage you can deal with the attack. You take the attack's normal damage.
Oh, so we both take the damage? Is that how that works?
The target will take the minimum
Yeah, okay.
amount of
Okay.
damage, but they jam their finger or mandible or whatever, and they
Mhm.
take the attack's normal damage.
Okay. So in Inanisara, you're gonna take 2 points of piercing. So we can say it's gonna jam a mandible, not jam a finger.
Hook me
But it's
in the
gonna
eye.
take a full bite attack against itself. For 5 damage. And you only take 2.
Only take 2.
Mhm. That was this one's turn. So down. The gremlin that was kind of like dismantling and bonking Pex'alily will vanish into the wall again and appear right above you in Inanisara and drop down onto your shoulders using its action. And then when it's on your shoulders, it's going to try to like bash like the side of your head in with its hammer. So it's going to be an attack roll against Inanisara for a 23 to hit
That does hit, yeah.
for
Okay. No,
for
no,
6
no.
points of bludgeoning.
Yeah, and that it basically knocks Anasara down, like out. She crumples to the ground.
Okay. It does not have the ability to move over to Gideon and attack Gideon.
Wait, did
What's
you
it gonna
just
do for
go?
its-
Did you just go down in this area?
Mhm. Yep.
So it will then. I guess I'll just use its movement to scuttle over here, over the bodies, and like kind of like blah, 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 at Gideon. And then lastly, the chief Vexkit is going to bring its mighty hammer down upon Gideon. It's going to do, let's see, it's going to be a 24 to hit, which is a hit. Going to deal 3 plus 3, 6 points of bludgeoning, which brings Gideon down to 11. And then it's going to use its last 2 actions to try to disintegrate Gideon's weapon with its little grabby hands. Ooh, 17 to hit is just enough to hit Gideon's weapon. It becomes rusted and automatically broken. And that is the gremlin's turns. Now it goes up to Gideon. Um, Gideon can't really do anything besides smash with like laser swords. So Gideon's not going down without a fight. Okay. So Gideon's going to use action to charge up the spell blade, infuse it with another action, and then attack with a Shocking Grasp spell strike. It's going to be a 20. Ooh, that's only a 2 to hit, which is plus. So that's 9. Which, okay, it was not critical miss. Okay. Oh no, Gideon doesn't even have a sword to use. That's right. Okay, sorry. I guess he's just going to cast Shocking Grasp himself instead of using a sword to do so. So it reaches out to try to like grasp this Vexkit to shock it, misses, does not do a critical miss. That would be how many actions to cast Shocking Grasp? 2 actions to cast Shocking Grasp. 1 action remaining. Shift, I guess, to try to like get access to Dexter to stabilize. Goodness gracious. So then it will go Pex'alily. No, Pex'alily is you're unconscious and stable. Dexter, you are dying. Make me a dying roll, please.
DC 12. 13 again.
Okay, you reduce your dying by 1. Then we go to Inanisara. You are dying 1, so make a recovery roll, please. DC 11.
So is that just a d20?
Yep.
Like flat
Yep,
d20?
just D20, try to beat an 11. Or try to meet or beat 11, yeah.
12.
Okay. You go from dying 1 to dying 0, which means you are unconscious and stable.
Whoops.
And then it goes to the gremlins again. Gremlin down here will attack Gideon once more. With a big maul attack for 19, which is a hit, which deals 7 points of bludgeoning. Gideon's now at 4 hit points. And then it'll lash out with a little bite attack for a second attack for a 15 to hit, which is a miss. And then the third action, yeah, we'll just do another bite. Plus 3, 22 to hit, which is a hit, which does 2 points of damage. Gideon's at 2 hit points. Big Chief Gremlin is going to attack with a big hammer, getting a 24 to hit, which is not a critical hit, dealing 7 points of damage, which fells Gideon. All 4 of you are unconscious as the world fades to black. I was not expecting this to go like this. This was absolutely brutal. Do we want to cut to a off-screen break? Discuss this?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
little earlier than normal, but yeah, let's go to break and we'll figure out what to do. All right, let me get there. All right, we're gonna take a break and roll up new characters. I don't know. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Okay, that was a short break. We we kind of know what we're gonna do. I'll turn it over to Vi here in a moment, but basically we decided to come back and kind of have an open discussion about this so that those of you that are watching now and on the VOD know what our intention is. This is not going to be the end of the campaign. Vi, I'll turn it over to you and we can kind of talk through what we're planning on doing.
Yeah, so the setup of the campaign has been so far the town of Torch having issues with everyone they sending beneath the city to figure out what's going on with the city end up dying and not coming back. So what's going to happen is the council is going to just send down another crew of adventurers, and they're going to find the remains of I mean, all the previous adventuring parties that have gone down here, which now includes a ratfolk gunslinger, an android investigator, an elf oracle, and a human magus. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing another fresh adventuring team. Our team here was only level 1 when we kicked the bucket, and so the next team will also be level 1 as well.
So does everybody know what they're going to play? I mean, I went into this session knowing that I was unconscious and probably going to die, so I already mostly have a character built. I know who my next character is going to be.
I have a couple of ideas in mind, but I wanna look over a couple things first.
I have no idea, but after how powerless I felt, I think I'm going to stay away from the magic user and I'll probably just go beefy tank person.
Beefy baby.
You just all roll up like 4 fighters, like you'll never take us alive.
Oh my god.
So I can say that
I'll relink the document I made back in the day about like the character.
yeah, it's all in the
ideas and
docs
stuff.
and info channel on our Discord.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't have, honestly, for my character, besides the gear, I haven't selected my gear yet, is probably the hardest part about not just Pathfinder, but any game I find is naming my guy.
Dude, that's the hard part.
But just so you guys know, when you start thinking about who you're going to play and stuff, is that Kaeryn, Tamiko said you need to get new dice. I am playing an orc barbarian who is a Holdsguard orc that has an animal instinct and bestial rage. So I am a bear type. I'm playing a bear.
Ooh.
Not like a grizzly bear, but I'm just playing a bear, you know.
A bear.
A burr.
I'm playing myself, but as an orc. I don't know. No, I this type of raging means that when I rage, I take on some aspects of a bear. I get a bear's unarmed attacks. In fact, I think if I read this right, I can't use my weapons when I'm raging.
Interesting.
I have
Okay.
to attack unarmed because of the style of orc that I am. I also have from our custom backgrounds, I was saying in the break, the antithesis of Dexter the android, this orc is a robot slayer.
Gonna rip them limb from limb. Amazing.
Yeah, I do not like robots. Holdsguard orc just means that I'm choosing an option that my orc is heavily tattooed in the tradition of our tribe. Yeah, the rest of the stuff I got to dig into it to clarify stuff because Pathfinder is quite complex. Pick up my weapons and all that stuff, but I love the idea of a barbarian that's also all about the unarmed attacks.
You are a barbarian.
Yes, a barbarian.
A barbarian.
A bear.
If you wear no armor, you'll be a barbarian.
I resisted, so I once played a D&D character that was what was his name? It had something to do with an owl bear, and I named him Aragorn because he was a ranger, so it was like Aragorn but Bjorn. So I resisted that urge.
I could just imagine the voice you're going to use from
Polygody said barbarian as well in the chat. So Yeah, I chose to go the opposite of my squishy detective with full on angry orc with rippling muscles and tattoos. But
Kind of tattoos, because that's going to be important.
I'll have to figure that out. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, I guess we've got a couple weeks to figure it out, and I'll have to redo our overlay, and we'll have to let M know. Let M know when they get back.
I am-
M's not
I am
there.
messaging M's satellite phone because they are in the middle of the woods right now, hiking in the Canadian mountains. Part of my message will be that there's a TPK and they get to come up with a new character to think about on their on their hikes.
I
They're
mean,
going to love that.
I really like that this played so well. It's almost like we just played a prologue. Our first 4 sessions were like a
Yeah.
prologue.
The real campaign is about to start.
Yeah, we planned this all along, folks. We knew this was going to happen.
This is the long
We
con.
did. The long con here.
So, yeah. So I guess that's it.
That's the game,
So
guys.
here's what I'll do before we leave a little early, and sometimes this happens. But I'm going to share my announcement once again because it's a big announcement, and there's some more people here that weren't here.
Definitely.
So we announced at the beginning of the stream, and we announced officially over the weekend. Tamiko, if you could have that link ready in the chat as well. We are very excited to play host to Todd Stashwick's Nerd Circus presents Legends of Eleonora, The Light of the Child. A Dungeons and Dragons charity live stream event happening Saturday, September 30th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/mini-terrain-domain. This amazing game is taking place in Todd's new homebrew world of Eleonora, which is actually named for some friends of his who lost their teenage daughter, Eleonora, to cancer. This is in her honor. Todd will be the dungeon master and will be joined at the table by Matthew Lillard, Mika Burton, Tawny Newsom, and Jack Quaid. You may recognize many of them from lots of movies and Critical Role. Mika Burton's been involved in Critical Role. Todd and Mika were on the last season of Star Trek Picard. They're all space family stuff. I don't want to say too much about the show they were on because of the strikes that are going on, and we support the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. Suffice it to say that all these people are going to be playing D&D right here on the channel. And the cool part is that Tamiko has dropped a link in the chat. That's not the cool part. The link is you can bid to be one of 2 players to join this awesome table for 3 hours while we raise money to fight childhood cancer for the Pablo Foundation. Really cool that so far the auction's only been live for, I think, 4, maybe 5 days. And I believe we are right around $5,000 raised, $4,500, something like that. And the auction's still going on for another 8.5 days at least. So be sure to check that out. We'll have lots of great giveaways. And it's just going to be a fun time and for a really good cause. And if you are one of our regular moderators or an MTD regular who would like to help out in the moderation, please send me a message. You should already know how to get a hold of me. And if you want to be a part of our mod team during that stream, we would greatly appreciate that. myself and Dwight, the big bearded nerd, are going to be handling the main production and managing the donations and all that good stuff as well. So please tune in September 30th. That's a Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Vi, do you have anything else you want to say before we kick on out of here?
I apologize for the early and short ending of this particular evening of gaming. Turns out that these little gremlins know how to pack a punch.
And we don't know how to roll higher than a 1.
I'm so good at rolling ones. I'm
Well-
so good. 4 out of my 5 dice rolls.
Yeah, no,
We're one.
I mean, Tamiko just said it in the chat, but never apologize. This is the game. This is the game. We knew it when we signed up for it. This is what happens. And we have a built-in solution that works really well to move us into our next group. So I'm excited about it. Thank you, everybody who tuned in for this shortened session. And thank you if you happen to be one of the many new followers that are coming to join us at MTD because of the upcoming charity stream. Thank you. We appreciate you. And hope you'll stick around to see all of our other awesome D&D games we do and other things that we've got going on. But I want to say a huge thank you to our amazing game master who pulled no punches and wiping us out in the first hour, Vi, but also to all of these players, Kaeryn, Sara, and myself. And even though they weren't here, they were here with us in spirit. Without whom this would have just been Vi talking to themselves for roughly an hour. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream early. We're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.
TPK.
TPK.
TPK.